Let's talk about some stories that happened yesterday. Aaron Rodgers comes out and kind of gives his side of the entire Coach Saleh firing, where he was, how he found out. He said numerous times that he had no idea it was coming and that he likes Saleh and has always liked Saleh. He has said it numerous times publicly, privately, the whole thing. But obviously some people were set in their thoughts about what happened in New York, even, without hearing Aaron, and then after hearing, nah, that couldn't be what it was. And there were some people, actually, journalist people, who said, I don't want to hear him talk. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear him talk. And then they go, why didn't he say anything about himself and take some accountability? It's like, well, he did, you see. If you would have,
you gotta hear it.
If you would want to hear it or listen to it, that's probably a part of the problem. You don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. So even if it is said, you don't hear it. You can't hear it. Well, it's not just sports problem, I don't think. Potentially
the world.
Sure.
Entire world problem. But nonetheless, the way he answered a couple questions about the future and inevitable change and everything led Adam Schefter yesterday to say, I think we all heard what Aaron was saying. He knows Downing's about to be the offense coordinator, and I think that's probably because Schefter had maybe a little bit of a source that he couldn't completely confirm the situation. So when Aaron says he's cool with the future and whatever ends up happening in all that case, that becomes the actual move. Downing will now be the offensive coordinator in sole control of the plan and the play calling. And we learned that from Coach Ulbrich, who is now the interim head coach of the New York Jets, in his press conference. And obviously that information is a big part of this. But also listen to the way he's speaking. I completely forgot about this. This is an opportunity for Coach Ulbrich here, former player in the NFL. I just saw a picture of him as a San Francisco 49er. Yeah. We're talking about a dog.
Look out.
Yes.
We're talking about a dog. We got mohawks. We got goatees. Mm-hmm. Kind of an MCDC potential feel here as a former player. There he is.
Whew.
There he
Come
is.
on.
You think that guy's getting knocked back in the head-to-head combat?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Come on.
Now you see the beard he's got, but when he's talking, it's like, oh shit, this is a potential my opportunity to show that I can be a head coach in this league, and I think this is a wonderful answer.
Regarding the staff, after a lot of time to think about it, and did not make this decision easily by any means, I'm gonna make Todd Downing the play caller for the New York Jets going forward. And this is more a byproduct of a different take on things. I'm not saying it's a better or worse take on things by any means, but just a different take on things, a fresh approach. So ultimately, Todd will have the full say on the game plan and ultimately the plays that are called within the game. Saying that as well, just another testament to the human being that Nathaniel Hackett is, the fact that he's going to give us everything in his body and heart and soul, and he's going to continue to be a big part of the success we're going to have going forward from an offensive perspective. And just I feel so fortunate that he's staying with us. Here's a guy that's been a head coach in this league and willing to draw cards, willing to do whatever it takes. So the true heart of a servant. Just I feel so fortunate that he's on our staff, that he's in our lives, and I can't speak enough good things about him.
Okay, so that's Coach Brick breaking all that down. And what you heard there was a lot of different things. Okay, there was a lot of different answers in there with how he gave it. He gave compliments to literally every single person. Great work on the mic there. Great work PRing there. Great work checking all the boxes on everything, the tone of delivery and that. Downing is running the offense, okay? Hackett's sticking around. He's drawn up cards. Is that what I heard there in that particular answer? And then he said, this dude's just willing to serve our offense and our team is such an amazing thing. I think he handled that wonderfully. He obviously set a new tone, a freshness, a new path for the team as they move forward. And I think he represented himself as a head coach of a football team there. Chuck, how did you see that response?
I agree with you 1,000%. I thought he did a great job. I thought it was outstanding what he said about Hackett, about being, servanthood leadership. Obviously, that's what Ulbrich is all about, and his willingness to do whatever, because guys could be really, really bitter in this situation. He could have been like, you need to get me out of here. You need to fire me. Otherwise, I'm going to be this miserable prick. Every single day I come in here and make life miserable for this offensive staff. Todd Downing stepping in the new deal, but that's not who Nathaniel Hackett is. So it was awesome hearing Ulbrich say that, and that group's going to stay together. And
all those other coaches are going to rally behind him, though, right?
Absolutely. Again, I don't think they put him in that position if he don't have the respect of everybody in that building.
Yeah, but the decisions that are being made in that building, I think a lot of people are wondering about a lot.
Yeah.
So I believe in Brick. I believe in Coach Brick just from learning his story quickly and then hearing the way he addressed that particular situation, which is a massive move. Mm-hmm. That's a massive move to make, especially if you take any of the storylines into account. So for on his first day to do that and handle it the way that he did, I assume everybody's on his side, but there's egos and everything. There's a lot of egos.
No, and that'll be the first thing, like
money
and opportunity.
They got Buffalo on Monday night, right? Win or lose, there's going to be some more adversity down the road, and we always said circumstances don't make you; they reveal you. So there's going to be a lot of things revealed during this change. There's going to be a lot of things revealed about those coaches on that staff, the players in that locker room, and how they handle this whole thing.
And what's the truth, what it isn't. Do they have enough? Do they not? I'm legitimately, because their schedule, they just got done taking on the Broncos defense, the Niners defense, and the Vikings defense. Okay? So that's not like...
It's tough.
It's not great to have early, but then the Bills are always going to be the Bills in my eyes. So I respect the Bills, even though they had a bad night. And Josh Allen was definitely concussed, which could have led to him not being able to complete any passes and going 9 for 30, which is a vastly different Josh Allen than anything else. But nonetheless, you got Steelers, Denver, and stuff. Patriots, okay, Drake Mayer, what's it going to be?
Look out.
Texans, Cardinals, Colts, we know. Colts in prime time.
Murderers row.
We get to see that all the time. It's very often, very regular. Colts playing in prime time. They're going to show up.
Is that their first one in 2 seasons?
Okay. Are we loaded? Yeah.
They had a lot of 1 o'clock.
Seahawks, Dolphins, Jaguars. Nonetheless, that circumstances don't change you. Is that what you said?
Circumstances don't make you. They reveal you.
It's a good bar.
They're a 34% win percentage team. They've been through 4 head coaches. They've been through 3 general managers. This isn't about just one coach problem. This is an institutional, organizational problem. And so that's what goes on. And the decision to fire the guy after 5 games speaks to the lack of organizational awareness.
How do you feel about Woody Johnson?
I mean, to me, he's the owner now. He was the ambassador, and maybe he goes back to being the ambassador based on the election. I don't know about that. I'm not into the politics of all this. But to me, he's yet to build an organization that has decided that look, every player that went to the podium said they want accountability. Every player. And so, like, either you're going to build an organization the right way. This is what's so mind-boggling about NFL owners, and it's why Bill Walsh said we're only competing against 8. Like, at some point, when you see how poorly your organization has been run over the time you've owned the team, don't you sit there and say, wait a minute, we've been doing things the wrong way. Let's change.
No.
And I think that's part of the issue with the Jets. I mean, this isn't about we're going to hire Jeff Ulbrich and he's going to be the magic wand to fix everything. At some point, you have to do what Jed York did in San Francisco and say, you know what? I'm going to fix this thing, and I'm going to go back to the old model, and I'm going to hire somebody who's going to come in who knows football, and I'm going to let him run this team completely. Whereas the Jets haven't done that. They've had the old structure, GM, head coach. And again, this isn't about one person, because when you fire 4 coaches and you fire 2 general managers, and Douglas is on his last year, and you're a 34% win percentage team over this time period, it speaks to something bigger problem than just, Bobby's not a good coach.
So it's either your terrible hiring, right, is happening, your organization, or your decisions that you're making personally that are leading to your building not being great. At some point, you got to look in the mirror, you would think, and maybe this is the time, and maybe Ulbrich does.
Hell yeah.
Maybe he turns it all around. Maybe that's what the move.
But one guy, it's hard that one guy to turn it around. That's what I'm trying to say. It takes everybody to turn it around. And in that Jet building, there's no culture within that building. We've heard it. The players have screamed it. We have no accountability.
Jets
how do you get accountability? The owner's got to give you the authority to have the accountability.
Hell yeah.
When the players don't think that. That's what happened to us at the Raiders. All the players knew that they didn't work for Chuck will tell you, they didn't work for the coach, they worked for the owner. So it was hard to have accountability.
Do you think Joe D, excuse me, Pat, I'm sorry, do you think Joe D and Robert were in lockstep?
I think no. I don't think Robert had anybody in that building to help him solve problems. I think Joe is good at picking players, but the job of a general manager is to solve problems. The job of the general manager isn't to pick the right guy in the 4th round. That's important. But the job is to say, hey, here's the trajectory of our franchise. Here's what we need to fix. Here's the culture within our building. How do we fix that? See, you can promote somebody from being the director of college scouting and he'll pick good players, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're building a good team.
Maybe this next era is their best era for Jets and Jets fans because
so
Mets
positive.
are doing it. Maybe. There's a chance, Lombo. You never know. It feels like the Jets are stuck in the mud. And if you're stuck anywhere, you know what you need?
What's that?
2,500 heavy-duty Rebel Ram.
Amen.
It'll tell you how to whatever
truck, baby. You need that. Everybody loves that truck. Everybody saw you in that.
Hey, it's powerful. I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Lombardi.
Hell yeah, Lombo.
Thank you, Lombo.